Hello everyone, welcome to another WIP and Chat. WIP stands for work and progress, and chat means I get to chat with you. I get to see how you're doing. I get to let you know what's going on over here. And yeah, just kind of catch you up on some things. So I hope everyone is doing well. I know for a lot of you, it is Maycember. Maycember. Yeah, it is crazy busy. That's been a little bit over here for sure. It has been pretty busy with school ending soon and getting ready for things. But you know what? It's okay because it's all fun stuff and, really can't complain. So before I get into everything, let me kind of show you what all I am working on. So thankfully, I am back to Sugar High. Thank goodness, because I had to take a week off from Sugar High, and I will tell you why, and it was a huge mistake on my part, but my cat's playing with a toy. Money Penny is having a lot of fun with a stuffed ice cream cone, if you can hear that. But anyways, I will get into the story of how I had to take a break from this and unnecessarily did. But I'm working on Sugar High. Here's the original image. This is a Diamond Art Club kit. It is by the amazing artist Lizzie Falcon. It is 20 by 41 inches or 50.8 by 103.8 centimeters. Beautiful, beautiful piece. I love it. Are you having fun with your toy, Money Penny? She's like looking at me like, yeah, and you're interrupting me. So yes, this gorgeous kit, I believe this is still in stock, guys, which shocks me because I would have thought this would have sold out, but apparently not. All right, tools that I'm using. I'm going to use my Muni Made tray today. And no, I am not one of the people who have the fast fingers and can actually get one of these. This was actually gifted to me by my very sweet friend, Laura with Anxiety Art Adventures. She gifted me this wonderful purple Muni Made tray because we had a conversation one time about it. And she's like, what? You don't have a Muni Made tray? And I was like, no. And so she was very sweet and sent me one of hers. So I have this lovely purple tray. I'm going to use my Enablers Outpost pen. I decided, you know what, why not switch out for this pen? I love this pen. It is absolutely gorgeous. Now, this is one of their thick pens, as you can clearly see. This is a big boy. I'm sorry. She is a voluptuous pen. What can we say? She is all kinds of beautiful curves, and I love her. I think this is a gorgeous pen, but she is very thick. Now, I have no problem with thick pens. I'm okay with them. I know some people have different preferences, but you know what? Honestly, with me, I'm kind of one of those people that if I can snag an Enablers Outpost pen, I'm kind of like, I really don't care what size it is, as long as I can get one. So if it's thick, that's fine. If it's thin, that's fine. But yeah, this is one of their thick pens, but I mean, as you can tell, it's gorgeous. It's so pretty. Love this pen. I'm going to use my DAC multi-placer. Again, keep saying I need to get more because I keep using this over and over, but I haven't. And then just a thin metal placer or a brass tip placer. Let's see, putty. I am going to use my Rose Mud. I have been absolutely in love with this special edition Bridgerton theme putty that Rose Mud put out. She just put out another set on Thursday when the third season of Bridgerton was actually released. I'm not sure if she has any left. I will double check, but I will still post her shop and, I'll post everything down below. But this is Queen's Tea. I love this scent. It's almost like a bergamot tea. So it's kind of citrusy, but it's got like a black tea smell to it. So for any of my tea lovers out there, it just smells so nice. It's just a nice fresh smell, not sweet, not, overbearing. It's just really, really nice. So it really legitimately makes me want to brew a cup, but I won't I'm drinking coffee today. So yeah. So I love it. I really hope Rose Mud does more of these kind of like themed teas because I think she totally nails it on the head and I really like them. For wax, I'm going to go with my Pure Bliss Wax Company, Peaches and Cream. This is one of the very first waxes I think I ever purchased from her. And yeah, it's a great store. She also sells wax melts as well. And yeah, I just love her stuff. She also has a subscription box that you can get each month, like a diamond painting box. I've bought a few of those from her before. I believe this is came in a box that I had purchased. Yeah, just her whole aesthetic, her whole vibe, it's just awesome. Corey's a great shop owner, and I love supporting her business when I can. And then really with cover minders, so this is the perforated plastic that DAC has. I love it. I'm a huge fan of the perforated plastic because I don't like sectioning with washi tape. I do not have the patience for it. But with perforated plastic, you really don't need a cover minder. It's kind of eliminated the use for them. However, I do love my cover minders. I am a cover minder girl. And I figured, you know what, I'm going to use one anyways because they're just fun to decorate your canvas with. And I like to kind of show off my mood or just things that make me happy. And so I figured, you know what, I need to use Dolly today. I mean, who doesn't love Dolly, right? So it says, it's hard to be a diamond in a rhinestone world. Now, I do not think that highly of myself, guys, but you know, it's still fun, right? So, and a cover minder works, has a magnet on the back, a magnet underneath the canvas, and they just connect together. All right, so those are all my tools. So let me actually get to diamond painting here. So I guess I need to begin, first of all right, because you guys know, for those of you who listen to my WIP and Chats, I kind of go all over the place, and this will be no exception. But so I had to take a break from this canvas because I had thought, okay, keyword here, I had thought that I had run out of drills at a certain color. I'm going to try and find my edge here. I guess that is the one thing with this perforated plastic. You do kind of have to be like, okay, where's my edge at? So I always try to find the edge first, and then I go from there. This is about, yeah, that's about as close. Ooh, okay. And, okay, so I had thought that I had run out of a color. So I was waiting for the color. And so the first thing was, first of all, DAC was great. I mean, they immediately were like, oh yeah, you know, here, we'll send you the color, no problem. Because they've got that great warranty and things like that. So partly, guys, the line isn't quite on here, so I'm just going to use my tweezers and lift this a little because as you can see, my drills are partly on the plastic. So when I do this edge right here, I'm just going to barely lift and do the edge first. So I know it's hard to see, so I apologize, but let me do this edge first, and then I can put it back down. So DAC was great. I mean, they were like immediately, yep, no problem. We'll send you replacement drills. So like a week goes by and I'm like, that's odd. Like usually they're pretty fast with things. Now, I had heard, like I knew they were having maybe some warehouse things and things like that, but I was like, well, these are just replacement drills. It's not like a painting. Well, then I was looking and I double checked and I had seen that I'm like, oh my gosh. I put the wrong address in, guys. So I had the wrong address listed because my last order that I placed with them was actually a gift. And I had their address in, the person I gifted to. So I was like, oh, they sent the replacement drill. So I contacted this person. And I'm like, hey, heads up, you're going to get some replacement drills. Because I was silly and I put in the wrong address. I forgot to change the address back to mine. So, you know, that was totally on me, my fault. So no worries. So I contacted them again, contacted DAC customer service. I was like, hey, I am so sorry. Totally my fault. But I put in the wrong address. They were awesome. No worries. They're like, hey, no worries. We'll send you some more. And I'm like, oh, thank you so much. So last week on Laura's Live with Anxiety Art Adventures, I was, saying, I'm like, oh yeah, I sent in the wrong address and I'm waiting. And Laura had asked, oh, well, what color did you run out of? And I said, well, this one. And she's like, oh, this one, because Laura is working on the same one. And she showed the color that I was missing. And when she showed me the color, guys, I was like, oh dear, that is not the same color that I'm missing. So then I was like, oh, this can't be good. So basically, I came to the conclusion that I'm like, oh, I mixed colors when I was kitting up. And so I started like totally freaking out. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I'm like, oh my gosh, it's good. Like, and I mean, I've done huge sections of this painting. So I'm like, what am I gonna do? Like, I was like, there's no way. I'm like, I cannot go back. I cannot go back and pick all these drills off. So I finally, poor Laura, like she's doing her life, and I'm like trying to figure out, I'm like, where did I go wrong? What did I switch? And literally, guys, I had found out so there are two colors in this. There is a 3801 and a 3803. And I switched the two. I couldn't believe it. I could not believe that I did that. And yeah, totally switched them. Now, here was the good part. The good part was after going through the canvas and looking over things and looking where those colors were charted, the good news is that both the colors were in her hair. So that basically means that I could continue the mistake that I made, but just her hair was going to be charted now differently than what's in the picture. So that's where I'm at now. So as you can see, this portion, there should be more purple in here and there's more pink instead. So really that's going to be the difference in this kit. And I'm okay with that. I'm like, you know what? Who knows? It might give it a unique look. We'll just see what happens. But yeah, that was the great kitting up confusion, which now makes me think. And so when I kitted this one up, I had done it on a live with Laura, which was so sweet. I had so much fun talking to her, and it was such a fun way to kit up. But then there was part of me that questioned myself. I'm like, am I capable of having a conversation and kitting up at the same time? Because this mistake shows me that I can't. Yeah, I'm like, apparently I cannot have a conversation and kit up at the same time or else I'm going to mess it up. So we'll see, guys. We'll see. I want to keep like doing that kind of stuff. But I really, oh man, there's just part of me, I'm like, thank goodness the only colors I confused were in her hair. Because, oh my gosh, if it had been something else, I don't know what I would have done, guys. Honestly, I don't think I would have been able to pick all those drills off. I think I was like way too far along by then. So I'm like, I think the only thing I would have been able to do is like maybe start over. But oh, this kit's big. I mean, like I said, it's 41 inches long. She's a long lady here. And I was just like, oh my gosh, do I really want to start over again? As much as I love this kit, I'm just like, I don't think I have the energy to start over. Like, what I'd probably do is just like, yeah, I get a new one, but then, you know, put it away until I was ready to work on like a big one again. But again, thankfully, it worked out. And yeah, her hair is just going to look a little different. But again, I'm okay with that. And honestly, now I'm kind of curious what it will be like. Because again, Laura's working on this one too. So it'll be kind of fun to compare like what the two look like. So we'll see. So stay tuned for that. That might be kind of fun. Who knows? You may want to give her more pink hair too after you see mine. You might be like, hey, you know what? I think we like her more with more pink than purple hair. We're going to do that too. And, you know, mix the colors up. But yeah, so, oh my goodness. So shout out to Laura for that, for totally helping me, and everyone in that chat, actually. They were awesome. They were being so nice and like seriously trying to help me out, trying to help me figure out like where I went wrong. Because I was like in a full panic. I was like, oh my gosh, like this is not good. but it ended up being really good. So we're fine. Again, she's got to look a little different, but I mean, you know what? That is okay. That is not the worst thing that can happen with a diamond painting, is that her hair colors got switched, because their colors were still both supposed to be in her hair, just in different places. So I don't think in the long run it's going to be a huge issue. Or at least I'm not going to make it one, right? I'm not going to make a mountain out of a molehill. So, all right. So that was that. But this week, honestly, it was a great week. It was busy. It was super busy. Just like Maggie had, you know, it was like, last week was her last full week of school. So this week she's got, well, I filmed this on Monday and I post on Tuesday. So by the time you see this, really she'll be done with school. But you know, it's always kind of like when I say May-cember, it's kind of like, you know, because there's always these last minute activities or last minute things to turn in or something like that. And that was kind of the case. That one looks kind of gray. Hold on. Did that color get like confused? Because that looks more gray than white. I'm going to pick that out. I don't know why. Didn't look quite the same, guys. I might need to add more washi tape to my multi-placer too. Sometimes with this multi-placer, you got to add like washi tape around it to make it fit in the pen. So I may need to do that, but right now we're just going to keep going. And also, we're getting ready. So, getting ready for the end of school. Then also Maggie has her birthday coming up. And then she also had a small friend get together for her birthday. And then we're also getting ready to go on our cruise. So yeah, just lots of different things getting ready for. And so last week was kind of just like, yeah, a lot of hustle and bustle and just running errands and ordering stuff and like doing taking my mother-in-law out to go birthday shopping for my daughter, because she hadn't gone birthday shopping for her yet and wanted to do that, and I always help her out with that. So it was busy, but it was a good type of busy. So like for instance, so really I'm trying to think, like really Monday through Thursday was pretty uneventful, honestly. It was pretty chill. Or not chill, but, you know, busy, running errands. Like, it went by so fast. I'm just kind of like, I really don't think anything in particular stood out. I did not get to do a whole lot of diamond painting last week, to be quite honest, because it was so busy. And usually by the evening, honestly, I was so wiped out that I was typically just kind of going to bed early, or I would at least get into bed and then like doom scroll for like a couple of hours, because I just didn't want to move, because I was just like, I'm actually quite tired. But so Friday though, went birthday shopping with my mother-in-law, and that was really good. It was really the first time my mother-in-law and I have been able to get together, just the two of us, and really just, you know, kind of talk about things since finding out about my father-in-law and his diagnosis. And just to catch you guys up to speed for those who don't know or may be joining, my father-in-law was officially diagnosed with Alzheimer's. My husband and I, we kind of knew it was coming. We kind of figured it was coming. We had quite a few, there's just things we saw that we've been seeing that were like, okay. And you know, fortunately, my sister, my older sister, she's a neuropsychologist actually at Harvard, and that's what she specializes in. So thankfully, I've kind of been able to bounce a lot of things off of her and ask questions. And, you know, after talking with her and things like that, like that's when my husband and I kind of started thinking like, oh, okay, this is what it probably is. And sure enough, that's what it was. It was Alzheimer's. And, you know, we hadn't really had a good talk with my mother-in-law yet about it. Like, I hadn't seen her just one-on-one since the diagnosis, because again, like, things were crazy and Frankly, I think she was processing things too. And that was another thing. We kind of wanted to give her time to just kind of take it in and, because it was literally just this time last year that she had found out that her breast cancer had returned and gotten to her bones. So, really, within a year, both her and her husband had major, life-changing medical diagnosis. So, it's been, that's been a lot. That has been a lot for them this year. So I took her out birthday shopping. I wanted to go do something. So my daughter is her only grandchild because my husband's her only child, and my husband and I only had one child. That was what we could have, and we're grateful for it. So I took her out shopping. Sorry, I'm getting a sip of coffee. And I think she really enjoyed it. I think, obviously, there are right now, thank goodness, there are some safeguards put in place for my father-in-law so she can go shopping and do some of those things that she enjoys doing. And it was really nice. I think just doing some of those normal things that she hasn't really been able to do for the past few weeks, because it really has been a lot of meetings and appointments and things like that. I think just to get out and do something normal was really good for her. And then, I took her out to lunch after too. And it was really good. I have to admit, some of the things we talked about were quite honestly very unexpected, because I didn't know if she was going to be ready to talk about some tough decisions coming ahead. And I kind of talked about that in my last WIP and Chat too. Like, I knew there's going to be some tough decisions coming up with these diagnoses. And part of why I had thought they might be tough is because I didn't know if my in-laws were ready to make some of those decisions. Because I can't imagine, and to give them credit, like, I can't imagine, guys, being in a position where, your life completely changes because of, literally in a day, your life changes and you're suddenly forced to make some really tough life altering decisions. And there's a huge part of me that I'm like, I don't think they're ready to make those decisions. But sure enough, after sitting down and having lunch with my mother-in-law, she wanted to talk about it. So we did. And so we've kind of got a game plan in place. And we're just going to take it a day at a time. But I have to admit, and obviously, guys, just because, it's still my mother-in-law's personal life, I'm not gonna go into detail about the plans. Like, I'm sure I will, down the road when the ball gets rolling. But for right now, I'm gonna keep that kind of private. But it was really good knowing that, okay, she's realizing that there definitely needs to be some changes made. And so we're gonna start taking some small steps to look into making some lifestyle changes and things like that. And we're just gonna go from there. But we had a good talk, and I'm her only daughter. I'm the only daughter she's ever had, and she didn't have sisters growing up either. She's only had brothers. She's always been surrounded by guys, and she's got sisters-in-law, but as far as daughters, I'm the only one. And so I do think there are some things that she will talk to me about that she doesn't necessarily talk to my husband about, and things like that. So it was a really good chat. And I think we're on a good path right now. And honestly, I'm very pleasantly surprised at how her attitude about this and just how she's handling things. And honestly, how my father-in-law is doing, because, his world was rocked too. And I know he's still processing things. But he's honestly, it's that's kind of the nice thing with him. Like, he's still very much the happy-go-lucky person. And for those of you who, know someone or has taken care of someone with Alzheimer's, it can be a roller coaster from day to day. And that's the thing. We'd already kind of faced some of that throughout the year. That's why my husband and I kind of thought it could be Alzheimer's, just because of like some of the personality things we were seeing and the different habits and behaviors that we were seeing. But, honestly, it's interesting just with this diagnosis. It's kind of amazing just to see how much my father-in-law has almost kind of opened up and become a little more vulnerable with his close family and people he trusts. So, yeah, it's been good. And obviously, we are going to take it a day at a time. And, we know, like I said before, it is totally a roller coaster. But, so far, things are actually progressing and moving in the right direction. I will say that. They're totally moving in the right direction. So yeah, so basically, long story short, a shopping trip really turned into a really good talk, a really good productive talk. And frankly, I think just a chance for my mother-in-law to just get some things out. And I think it was good for her. I noticed when I dropped her back off at her house and helped her unload things and everything, I noticed there was like a calmness about her that I had not seen in a while. And I was just like, okay, all right, we're gonna be all right. And frankly, guys, there was a calmness from me too, because I may not show it when I, do my WIP and chats or when I do my lives, but I mean, I've had a lot of anxiety about this. And, it definitely weighs on my mind. I mean, every single day. And, I probably, maybe I hide it well, but I mean, it's there. And it definitely has affected me for sure, as far as like stress levels and things like that. So I think for the first time too, I felt a little lighter, because I was like, okay, there's some good things in place now, and we can start working on, kind of being proactive and having a plan in place. So it was really good. And it was a really fun shopping trip. Obviously, my my mother-in-law and we love to shop for my daughter. My daughter she's the only girl and the only grandchild in the family. So we tend to go a little overboard for sure. I'm not going to lie. And yeah, it was fun. It was just a really fun shopping trip too. So, and part of it is too, now with kind of my mother-in-law's health needs and like her mobility and things like that, there are some things I kind of have to plan out when it comes to shopping with her. So I kind of planned things out like the night before. I'm like, okay, this is the store we're going to. This is like the elevator. That's where it's located, because, she needs to use the elevator. She can't do like escalators or stairs and things like that. So kind of mapping that all out beforehand honestly helped too. And it made the shopping trip just really pleasant and smooth, because, there weren't any physical obstacles or kind of surprises, that we had to deal with. So I will say that was something I kind of learned too, is now going forward when I do more shopping trips with her, because my mother-in-law she loves to shop, and she's one of those people, she'll shop till she drops. She loves to do that kind of stuff. I now kind of a better idea that when I take her, I'm like, all right, I'm going to plan some things out beforehand, kind of know my strategies, and it really does great. It helps immensely. So, I learned some stuff too. So yeah, so went shopping that day. And then that afternoon, because Maggie is technically a summer birthday, which cracks me up. She's barely a summer birthday. Her birthday is literally 6 days after school lets out. So she barely made it. But her teacher was really cool and said, hey, if summer birthdays want to bring in like birthday treats, she can definitely do that. And so her day to bring in birthday treats was Friday. So I'll try and post a picture on Instagram, and I'll try and post a picture on the community post too, guys. But so we ordered cupcakes for her to bring to her class, and they were so cute, guys. I thought they were adorable. So my daughter, of course, she's turning 10, and she is a Swiftie, like I think every tween girl is. And so we had ordered some just cupcakes from Sam's Club. And then I found these really cute toppers from Amazon of Taylor Swift. And then I stuck them in the cupcakes to make these really cute little Taylor Swift cupcakes afterwards. So I thought they turned out great. I was really happy with them. And my daughter was thrilled. She was really excited. And so we took those to the classroom, and that was really fun. It did crack me up because, being a teacher for 12 years, as soon as I enter a classroom, guys, it's almost like the switch flips, and I went into teacher mode. Like, obviously, her teacher is amazing. So obviously, I wasn't stepping in or anything, but it's amazing how that suddenly comes back to me. Like, I haven't shaken that yet, even after 2 years of being in the classroom, how suddenly I'm like, oh, teacher mode. And like, I was literally like kind of watching the kids, monitoring them. Like, it's so funny how that still snaps back into me. And I don't know how I feel about that, to be quite honest. I really would like to be at a point where eventually I can be like, in my daughter's classroom or help at her school or do something and just be the parent without feeling like I gotta be in teacher mode. But that is still something that I honestly kind of struggle with, because it clearly happened on Friday. It was really funny. I just was like, it was like an automatic snap where suddenly I was like monitoring, and I was like making sure, like, just, and I think that's a mom thing too, but I mean, there's just part of me, it was so funny, like how, like, I almost was like, okay, should I be walking around the room? Should I be observed? Like, that's where I was going. like I was, and I didn't, thank goodness. I was able to like stop myself, because I'm like, no, I'm not going to be that person. And thankfully, my daughter's teacher, she knows I was a teacher too. And I kind of feel bad, because I'm like, oh, maybe she wanted the help. I don't know. But I tried to stop myself from it. Because, it was weird. I was just like, I probably could have just like started monitoring and like walking around and observing students, and like started to do that, because it did. I snapped into that mode so quickly. But, no, but it was super fun. Her class enjoyed the cupcakes. Obviously, most of the boys in her class were like, ew, Taylor Swift, and like, yeah, but her teacher's response kind of cracked me up. She's like, then don't eat it. Like, you could tell her teacher is so like, like, they're so done. They're so done. And I'm like, shout out. And I just like, oh gosh, I remember that. I remember that so well. So all my teacher peeps out there, I'm thinking of you, man, because these last few days of school, oh man, it's heavy. It is heavy. It's a lot. Like, you're just at the point where you're like, you know what? Just, yeah, I'm done. So for all of you who are still in the classroom or have a couple of days, or even some of you who may even have a couple of weeks left, I really do feel for you. And I'm thinking of you because I do remember that very, very clearly, what that's like. And it's tough. Like I know today as I'm filming this, like today my daughter's has field day. And I'm just like, oh Lord, they still do field days. Like, I'm so glad I don't have to do this anymore. I don't miss those at all. I don't. I really don't. But yeah, so that was Friday. And then the next day was, so Maggie so Maggie, like, it's her 10th, and I get it. And so she really wanted to do something with friends this year. And I'm like, I totally get that. Usually we just do like a family party because honestly, that's usually what she wants. But she's getting older. She's very, very social. I mean, much more social than I was at that age. And so, she wanted to do something for her birthday with her friends. And I'm like, I get that, I totally get that. So she had wanted to invite, just her close friends and go to Top Golf. And so for those of you who may not know, Top Golf is like, it's kind of like a driving range, but it's like they have like games that you can play and like competitions. So when you do the driving range, it's almost like there's like a big screen, and like when you hit the golf ball, it shows you like what it's doing on the screen, so to speak. So like you can hit the golf ball, but on the screen it'll show like an Angry Birds game. So like your golf ball is like hitting the towers and Angry Birds. So it's super fun. I mean, it's fun. And they've got like food and everything there. And yeah, and she does. She wanted to go to Top Golf, which I think honestly it made my husband like thrilled, because my husband, he's trying to get Maggie into golf. So he tried me, wasn't very successful. So of course now he's moving on to Maggie. He's like, someone else is going to play golf in this family besides me. And I really do think, honestly, he has got a better shot with Maggie, because Maggie's young. He can start her young. And she is way more athletic than I was at her age. But yeah, so she invited four of her close friends. One of them couldn't make it, so she had three of them, which I'm like, actually, it honestly ended up being perfect. So it was my husband and I, and then four girls all together, which was, it really was. I'm like, it actually ended up being like the perfect amount. And what was nice about it is, so we had reserved the pod ahead of time. Like you reserve a bay, and you get it for 2 hours. And while you're there, so you can, they golf and then they can eat. And it went so well. Because this was something, I got to be honest, I was kind of apprehensive about, because again, like anytime I'm in a situation with like my daughter and like kids, I go into teacher mode. And I really didn't want to do that for my daughter's birthday. I'm like, no, I really just want to enjoy it as a parent. So I have to admit, like proceeding up to it, I was a little anxious. Because yeah, I just was. I'm like, I really just hope I can enjoy this as a parent and not, and the thing is, like, my daughter's friends, they're good girls. Like they're not like, they follow the rules. Yeah. I'm like, I don't know why I was so anxious. I think that's just, I don't know, part of still just, I don't know, something I'm still working out with myself. But they had so much fun, and it was the perfect amount of time. It was 2 hours. After the 2 hours, parents picked them up. It was great. It was great. They got, we let them order off the menu, and they all had lunch there, and they played. And then Maggie, opened the gifts that they gave her, and it went so well. It was so much fun. Maggie had such a blast. And I'm really glad. And I'm really glad we did it. There's part of me I'm like, well, it's quite a bit, because we did it on the 18th, which is like 9 days before her birthday. But then there's part of me I'm like, well, I don't think that's too soon. Because there's part of me I'm like, I kind of wanted to do it before school let out because, I figured, well, if I wait till school lets out, like you just never know because then people go on vacation and things like that. So it did. It worked out perfectly. And then it was really nice too because honestly, a lot of her friends, a lot of her school friends, I'd never really gotten to meet their moms before. So that was good for me too. Like just getting to meet the moms, exchanging numbers because obviously Maggie wants to do more stuff with them this summer. And so now we can do that. Like, we all have each other's numbers and we can do more of that this summer. Because I know that's really important for me personally is to, keep these friendships going throughout the summer because that's going to be tough too because they all go to intermediate school next year. And a lot of them, they're going to different schools. So that's going to be tough. So I know all the moms, like all of us were kind of talking about that and how we're like, oh, like we're so bummed that, these girls have formed such a close-knit friendship and yet they're at different schools, which, is a bummer. So it was really good to just talk with the other moms and all be like, yeah, you know what, we're going to try our best. And, is it going to be perfect? Probably not because, I get it. Life gets in the way and things happen and, you just never know. But it was at least good to know that because I know I was really worried about it. That has been something on my mind as far as, oh my gosh, like, all her friends are kind of going to a different school and Maggie's going to this school and she's going to have to start a lot from scratch next year and that's going to be tough. But it was really interesting to talk to the other moms because like they were all feeling that way too. And I don't know, when you realize that, oh yeah, wait, I'm not the only one who feels that way. I'm not the only one who's going through this. It really does just give you that perspective again, like, oh yeah, like, like other people are feeling this too. And we can all go through this together and try and help our kids out as much as we can. So that was really good. So yeah, she had so much fun. Of course, the day that we did it was like the hottest day of the week. I am quite worried already for the summer because it is only May, guys, and we are already into the 80s, which is not very common for here. Usually we get into the 80s in June and then we're like, triple digits in July. I don't think that's going to happen. I have a feeling we are going to be in the triple digits very, very soon because it is already super hot here. And I guess that's kind of what they've been saying, like nationally. I think it's going to be a really hot summer. So, but thankfully with Top Golf is, yes, the pods are outside, but they're like covered and they've got like the big ceiling fans and stuff. So it really wasn't too bad. Thank goodness. It was very tolerable. Like the girls were comfortable and obviously we were like, we're ordering water constantly and, they also were having their soda pops and all that, but it was good. But it did make me think, I'm like, oh, this summer is going to suck. Because it is going to be warm. No question about it. And that's how it was last summer too. So I'm like, oh, this is not going to be fun. But that's all right. It is what it is. And honestly, for Maggie, because she'll do swim team this summer, she'll be in the pool 5 days a week. So she'll be fine. I'll be the one that needs to cool off. I'll be the one sitting watching her swim and trying to figure out how to stay cool. But yeah, so that was Saturday. And then of course after that, it was funny. So her party was from 1 to 3. And then after that, like she crashed. She was so tired that night. I was cracking up. Like my husband was like, oh, well, should we do this after and this after? I'm like, I got a feeling all that socializing and things like that. I'm like, because, so both Maggie and I, like, as we're both autistic and we love socializing, but it drains our battery. And I was telling my husband, I'm like, let's just see how she feels. And sure enough, we get home and she like, it was literally like, we get home by about 4 and she literally gets into her pajamas and like crashes onto her bed and yeah, like shuts herself in her room. She was so tired. And we're like, well, did you have fun? And she's like, oh yeah, mom. She's like, she was like, thank you. I had so much fun. She's like, I'm just super, super tired. I'm like, yeah, I figured you were. So we did. So we let her just decompress the rest of the evening. And yeah, just kind of chill. And honestly, it wasn't bad because Blake and I were just chilling too. And I think I think Blake, oh yeah, I think he like grilled that night too, which was really good. So yeah, the rest of the night we did nothing. It was really nice. But yeah, it was good. So, and then yesterday or Sunday, we were gonna run some errands. I went to get some paint samples because I am actually I really want to paint. One of the projects I do want to do this summer is paint Blake and I's bedroom. Like we haven't painted it since we moved into this house and it's been 5 years now. And now that we finally got our doors working and we've spruced that up, I'm like, you know what? It's time to paint. I can do that now. So I want to paint our bedroom. And so this Sunday, we went and we got some paint samples, which I was excited about that. And then Maggie's coach called because she's in volleyball and they have a tournament this coming weekend, had said, hey, let's get together for an impromptu practice at this person's house. And so we took her to that, and that was honestly really fun because it was just another opportunity for just Maggie to be around more friends and stuff, which I think will be good because, again, she's been pretty apprehensive about the school year ending. So any opportunity for her to just be with more friends and have more social activities, we're like, yep, we'll do it. So we did that, and she went to her volleyball practice, which was super fun. And then, yeah, I got some paint samples, which I'm really excited about trying. And, yeah, that was pretty much Sunday. It was fun. It was just kind of running some errands. And I ordered her birthday cake for her family party. Because her family party we're actually doing on her birthday. And then visited with my sister for a bit. And that was about it, but it was still, pretty busy weekend. Just again, lots of different things, and still getting ready for the cruise. I think at this point now, as far as like clothes wise, I feel like I have everything that I need. I actually found like some shorts too that I was excited about. Like clothes shopping is actually mildly pleasant right now, which I've enjoyed, and just kind of tying up loose ends for that. Still waiting for my car. My Jeep is still in the shop, which makes me very sad because I really want it back. I like the loaner car that they gave me, but I'm like, I really just want my car again. But, it is what it is. But yeah, I mean, really, that's kind of what's been going on. So that is everything. As far as what's coming up, I am going to bring a diamond cruise on I'm a diamond cruise. Oh my Lord. I am going to bring a diamond painting on the cruise. I gotta admit, guys, I may just bring this one because I was thinking about bringing a different one, but I'm kind of reassessing some things. Because I'll be honest with you, I may have ordered a diamond painting this weekend. I fell in love with it. You may know what it is too, because I was kind of raving about it on my live and I just couldn't resist and I got it. So hopefully I'll be showing you guys that soon. But when I was thinking more about it and I'm like, I really do want to finish this one because I do feel like I'm so close now. I literally have this middle and that's it. So I'm like, you know what? I think I'm going to bring this on the cruise because when it's rolled up, it's really not that big. And I have a tube I can put it in and it really is, it's long, but it's compact to pack. So I think I'm going to bring this one on the cruise with me. And then I've been thinking about, okay, what do I really want to diamond paint this summer? And so last night I was really thinking about it and I think I've got an idea that I want to do this summer. That's honestly kind of nostalgic. So I'm still kind of working out the details and still trying to plan about how I want to do it. But I'm not going to share everything yet, but I'm actually honestly excited about it. It really kind of reverts back to childhood, to be quite honest. So, because kind of like I said, I'm not going to be doing any events or anything, not until August when Laura and I do our Fantastic Felines event, which I'm super excited about. But for the summer, for at least June and July, I'm like, you know what? I think I'm going to do this. And does it mean that, yes, I will have more WIPs? Absolutely. But you guys know me. I don't shy away from WIPs. And I don't know. I'm excited about it because it honestly makes me really happy. And I just think it would be a really fun thing to do. And I don't know, it really just reaches that nostalgia, kind of just scratches that itch for me right now. And we'll see. And I kind of I'm not buying a lot, but I have been kind of getting back on the accessories train again. So I might be buying some accessories too to kind of go with this idea that I have in my head. So we'll see. But I am excited about it. I think it'll be fun. So as far as reading, watching, still slowly getting back into reading this book. I haven't gotten too far on it, but I'm hopeful. And actually what I started reading is The Women by Kristen Hanna. I'm a huge Kristen Hanna fan. Probably The Great Alone is still top 5 best book I've ever read. Seriously, I wish they would do that as a mini series, like not a movie, because I think it would be too detailed and too long as a movie. Like, I really think like HBO needs to make like a good detailed mini series on it. Cause if you've read The Great Alone, you guys know, like, that's such a good story. Like, really is. It's like one of my favorite books of all time. And so Kristen Hanna had come out with a new book back in February, I think, called The Women. And she writes a lot of historical fiction. And this one is about like nurses during Vietnam. So obviously it's probably not the most happiest book, but it looked really good. And, I'm like, you know what? I haven't read a Kristen Hanna novel in a long time. So I figured that would be a good one, and I got it. I got it a while back ago, like when it first came out, and I finally cracked it open and thought I'd start that one. So yeah, so I'm hoping to get more read again when we go on vacation, because I'll have no excuse not to. I'm like, I won't have any chores to do. I won't have any house chores. Like, really, it really is legit just relaxing and reading. So I think that'll be good. Who knows? Maybe I'll finish it. Maybe I'll be like, I'll finish a book again. And then as far as watching goes, really haven't watched anything as far as show goes. I think though, I think I need to start Bridgerton because I've read the books. I've read halfway through the series. So basically what the series covers up to now, I've read the book, so I know exactly what happened. So now I'm kind of like, oh, well, now I need to watch the show because I've read the books up to what happens. So I should. So I might do that. Plus we got Netflix again too. I didn't have Netflix for a while because, I don't know, there's just nothing we really needed on it. But my husband really wanted to watch the roast of Tom Brady. if any of you saw that. So we ended up getting Netflix again. And I know he really wants to watch the Mike Tyson fight coming up, which I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't like, like, why are they doing this? I don't get it. But who knows? I don't know. I guess if they paid me enough to come out of retirement to box, I probably would do it too. I mean, let's be honest, I probably would. Um, However, so yeah, as far as show goes, like I haven't really gotten hooked on anything since Love and Death. As far as movies go, though, I haven't seen any movies, but there are some movies I definitely want to see coming out. So I definitely have a list of them. I told my husband too. So my husband, oh my gosh, like I have to drag him to the movie theater now. Like he's just like, why? We have like a home theater down in the basement. And I'm like, it doesn't matter. I said, I'm like, you still have to enjoy the movie experience. And he's like, oh, okay, yeah. He's one of those people now, like he will avoid the movie theater at all costs. But, and COVID totally did that to him. Like, because no movies were coming out during that time. So he got very comfortable just watching movies down in the basement. But now that, movies come out in theaters again, I'm like, no, we are going to the theater. We are going to go see some new releases. We're not going to just wait until they all come out, on HBO or Hulu or whatever. So, I want to see Twisters because I'm just like, I think that looks like fun. I'm like, I love that they're doing like a new Twister movie. I mean, come on, guys. I live in like, the Midwest, and that's what we focus on, right? So that looks good. And then I saw the preview for Horizon, that big old, like Kevin Costner cowboy movie. And I'm like, come on, like, you guys know I'm a big Yellowstone fan, so I'm like, Kevin Costner and cowboy movie, like sign me up. Of course I have to watch. So I already told him. I said, I'm dragging you to the theater and we're seeing these movies. So that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping. I'm gonna try and get his butt to the theater so we can go see them. And then obviously there's a couple of movies that Maggie wants to see. She really wants to go see If, which I think looks really sweet. So we're definitely going to go see that. And then she really wants to go see the new Pixar, the second Inside Out movie that's coming out in June, which I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad they're making another one because I loved that one. And I'm like, oh gosh, this is going to be perfect for Maggie because, she's so kind of getting near that age, like that preteen age. So I think that'll be fun too. So yeah. Didn't watch any movies, but definitely have some plans to go see some. Although I did tell my husband, we did watch one movie this weekend. And we were watching Top Gun Maverick. Like, we both actually love that movie. Like, we love the Top Gun movies. And I think we were talking about Val Kilmer, because Val Kilmer's in it. And, I was saying, I was just saying, I'm like, oh, Val Kilmer, he was such like a heartthrob. And, it's so sad, like, what happened with him and all that. And he's like, yeah, he's like, I don't think I've ever seen Tombstone. And I just looked at him and I'm like, what? I said, how have we been married this long and you have not seen Tombstone? And he's like, I don't know. So immediately I was like, okay, we are going to have a movie night and I'm going to show you, like, I'm like, yeah, like we have to watch Tombstone. I'm like, how have you not seen Tombstone? That's like one of the best Val Kilmer movies ever. And let me know if you agree or disagree. I think Tombstone is, I'm like, look, I'm waving my diamond painting pen at you guys. I think that, like, love that movie. And I'm from Arizona too, guys. So like Tombstone, that's like embedded in Arizona culture. And my husband and I have actually had frequented debates about this because we both claim, so if you guys don't know, like Tombstone is about like Wyatt Earp and all that. And the funny thing is, my husband and I have this connection. So my husband is a Kansas boy, which has Dodge City, right? Well, Wyatt Earp, little history for you. Wyatt Earp, was in Dodge City as well. And then it came out to Tombstone. So we both have claim over the whole, legacy of Wyatt Earp and cowboy culture and all that. So we have frequent arguments about that, about, who has more of a claim over Wyatt Earp. Is it a silly argument? Absolutely. But it's our argument because he has claims to Dodge City. I have claims to Tombstone. This is like the weirdest WIP and Chat ever, but it's true. This is what my husband and I do have debates about. But yeah, I'm like, yeah, we're going to watch Tombstone. And then, yeah, and I'm like, and you will see how good Val Kilmer was in that movie because he was amazing. And if you guys disagree, that is okay. You can disagree, but yeah, you can disagree. That's all. But anyways, yeah, I think that's really all that's going on. Let me see. Oh, I've been totally going for the time. All right. Well, once again, guys, you get to just enjoy my ramblings or not enjoy them. I'm not really sure. But I hope everyone is doing well. I hope you guys are all taking care of yourselves. I will keep posting updates on Instagram on the, ooh, look, my nails almost kind of match some of the colors. I did not do that on purpose. But yeah, I hope everyone's doing well. I hope you guys are taking care of yourselves, taking care of each other. I hope this WIP and Chat brings you a little bit of joy because it really does. It always brings joy to me making them. And yeah, hope to see you. I go live every Thursday, kind of seeing, I might put out a poll as far as what time. I probably this week I'll go noon Central Standard like I always do. But I always try and let you guys know on the community post if a time changes. But yeah, I hope everyone's well, and I will see you guys the next time. Bye.